Good evening. This is Reverend Pam Geagan from the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. And welcome to our Thursday night uplift. And what I'm talking about right now tonight is the synchronicity of life and what it means to be in the flow, because synchronicity basically is about the flow. And so, what I'm sharing tonight is how I know when I'm in the flow and when things are working well, and how you can also know when you're in the flow, where you're in the moment and everything is moving spectacularly, just beautifully and perfectly. And so when we are in the flow, we have this wonderful mystical universe that shows up for us, and we have synchronistic experiences of which we become a part of every time we shift behind our or stopping blocking, because what ifs, could ifs, gifts are given to us right in front of us, and we go, I can't take that gift because what if this happens, or what if that happens, or the could have, would have, should haves, or the buts. And the woman who I replaced, I didn't replace her directly, but began our center in the early 1980s. Reverend Cynthia Clare always said, the more butts you get, the larger yours get. And I don't need a bigger butt. Thank you very much. And many times it just takes a tiny shift in our thinking. Then we can bring back our spiritual connection. And you realize that when you are connected, life has greater meaning and purpose. And all of a sudden, things that flow into our lives, we are so more fully involved with, and we recognize that we are part of this ever unfolding process, for we are never left out. We recognize we're so much more than machines. And at times, the idea of a perfect versus imperfect universe causes a lot of distraction. And how does that do this? It causes us not to be aware and fully present in the moment. So instead of being in the flow, a lot of people do their damnedest to do the things they do as they did before, thinking that there is only one way to create that wonderful flow of life. And they keep paddling upstream, as I say, against the flow, and they just get tired. And that is when they wear out and give up and go back to a way of being that no longer suits them. I see our life right now. Our life right now is unfolding so rapidly in different directions and in different ways. And I went in meditation the other day and talked about synchronicity. In the meditation, what I was looking for was some awareness of what is happening. It seems that everything's moving so rapidly and that we're becoming smaller instead of larger. And yet our life is really showing us all how we're all connected from that one breath of God, that breathing in and through and as us. We drink the same water, we breathe the same air, and we live in this world, this wonderful planet together. And what's really interesting is we are more connected because of the internet together right now than we were, oh gosh, in the way back, since the beginning of time. We are absolutely becoming more connected, more at one than ever before. So in my meditation, what I got is there were times that I felt like I was breathing in. I've always felt that the universe did start as this microscopic, scientific, so dense and so intense ball of energy, so to speak. And when it went outward, and it's continuously going outward, I feel like we came in on this star planet that was really just one of many, many insignificant other star planets out there. But we came in on this beautiful island on the out breath of what I call God, the out breath of God. And that out breath of God has been reaching out, out ever since. And then all of a sudden, I think there's coming around now to that in breath again. So on this eternal path of becoming, returning to source, it's our journey that helps us reach those moments of bliss when we know that we are connected no matter what is happening in the world. and that we are absolutely uh, expressing God at its highest. So I suggest right here and right now that we become aware that we are not machines. We are God incarnate. We came out of the factory, as I always say, perfect. All of us were perfect when we came out because we came from our souls that were with us through the beginning of time, through the end of time. And everything on this planet comes out from a thought, from a higher vibration of desire. And yet, when we choose our words that are going back into the past and not in the present, they are archaic. Phrases like, look, he or she are dysfunctional. Only machines are dysfunctional. Human beings are not dysfunctional. And when we're awake, aware, alert in the moment, we recognize that we're no longer living in Newton's world, where we were concerned about ideas and looking for the mistakes in life. But what are mistakes? In Science of Nine, mistakes are missing the mark. It's as simple as that. That's when we look at what we've done, what we occurred in the moment, and the outcome. But we learn from our mistakes. And when we learn from our mistakes, that means we are still on the out breath, exploring this rapidly changing, evolving planet, for we are human beings and human becomings. You know, in this synchronicity, it is so interesting to me because I just spoke to a woman on the phone tonight, one of our congregants, who went to the doctor. She will remain nameless, for an infection. And the doctor gave her an antibiotic saying, this will be perfect. This will change everything for you. So she took the prescription to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist was filling it, and he took her in conference in his office and said, I need to speak to you. You cannot take this drug. This drug will kill you. They're pulling it off the black market. I don't think your doctor knows this yet. And what are the chances? She went to a pharmacist who was aware of this. After a doctor gave her something, he said, if you take this, not only will you rupture everything, like your Achilles heels, the blood vessels in your eyes, there are chances you will never be the same. And so in this moment, she was in the flow, in the perfection of knowing, and allowed this pharmacist to pull back her antibiotic and to address her doctor and get one that works for her. So the uncomfortable truth is that when we are not in the moment and not listening to what is who we are at our highest and best, then that is when we know that we are not in the flow. We are not in the synchronistic universe. You know, there's so many connections we have that is beyond synchronicity, as I say. What about identical twins who, when one gets a pain in their leg across the world, the other one feels the pain? What about when one person comes up with an idea across the world and another person gets the same idea at the same time, creates the same idea, and they end up connecting? What about those who are aware that their good is right with them, and they start using less than archaic language that no longer serves us about being dysfunctional? What about those who see that everything they're doing, as our wonderful Betty Ann used to say, is unfolding perfectly in this moment, no matter what? So it puts on the playing field that wrote about our evolution, our wonderful physicist Stephen Hawking, who said, don't forget that we are in the process of evolution, for we are an advanced breed of monkeys in this process of evolution on a minor planet of a very average star, but we can understand the universe, and that makes us very special. And how we understand the universe is that when we're in this moment of quietude and allowing the information to flow in and through and as us beyond all logical thinking, that logical thinking that tells you to take another route, when you think you should stay on the route and you find out later there's a horrible accident that happened, or that logical thinking that wakes you up in the middle of the night and you know that you know that you know that you should be or be doing something or going outside because there's a spectacular something happening with the planets or in space that you are able to recognize. So in the synchronistic universe, I invite you to get out of the mechanics of everyday living, of the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and just connect with nature. And in this moment, in the quietude, in your meditation, and your meditations and prayer times are so important for you to be in that flow and listen to the deepest part of you. And so when you're in that flow, remember to look up at the sky and down at your feet and recognize that you are this wonderful heavenly being that is connected to this dense planet to recognize your body's information that it's giving to you, listening to your body, your mind, your soul, all connecting right at the same time. Because what makes this universe exist is when people are curious and wonder about it, are open to at the top for change, for doing things differently, and don't feel like they're being pushed and shoved by something they don't want to do, but doing something in a different way. And when we do that, when we think about how COVID, many of us were allowed to be home with our children and work around our own schedules and on Zoom and things. Am I saying, was it easy being away from other people and not socializing? Of course it wasn't. But it taught us how to do a lot of different things in a lot of different way that saved the planet gas and money and time and created families that were working together. When you look at something like the Ukraine and the suffering of the people, it is very hard to understand how this is the highest and best for all. And yet, in our knowingness and our oneness, we have to remember that God is I am, and that the souls that came in to recognize and step up in their consciousness and their nobility and in their integrity in all of those moments have also chosen this karmic path for them to show up, suit up, and absolutely show and be the greater example of what can be accomplished when people come together in synchronistic ideas and pulling to choose the high watch over everything else, knowing that we are in this wonderful God universe for such a short moment in time, and that moment by moment, when we are in the moment, creating all that we can see, all that we can be, and we are as much and choosing those positive thoughts, knowing that this too shall pass when we're in a lot of um, turmoil and a lot of change. Then that is the time when we come together, we band together, and we become a little smaller together until we breathe out that breath of God. So when it feels like the breath of God is on the in breath, making us feel smaller and going backwards, remember the out breath is coming and it's going to outpicture in greater ways than we ever imagined it could have obviously ever been. So look up at the stars and also make sense of what you see, because when you wonder and when you know you're not stuck, that when you're in the flow, things flow in and through and as you, with an open heart, a willing mind, and a new way and a new attitude of doing things on the planet. When we are open and receptive to what is evolving in and through and all around us, then we are not luckless, star-crossed losers. We're full participants in life and what's present, and we are open to every moment, moment by moment by moment. So as I close today, let's just do a prayer out right here and right now. And let us just take those 3 connecting breaths. And on the in-breath, feeling the energy all around us from the highest on high, what the God is, and you can call it God, Buddha, Jesus, the thing itself, whatever it is, Krishna. God is on the in-breath, I am on the out-breath. And feel the oneness surrounding us, the light surrounding us. Breathing one more time silently in, connecting. Feeling more energized, more relaxed, knowing that God is, I am. And one more silently. And then just allow yourself to be flooded by that light. And as I listen, as I stay in the I am, please personalize these words. I am gently in the flow, feeling the energy as I open the door to my deepest desires. And I open to the curiosity of the ever-evolving universe that lies in me, through me, and as me. My heart is open, my mind is open. And I allow the divine knowledge of good to fill me as I listen to my heart song. In that still small voice within me, I allow it to guide me every step on my journey. And as I consciously emerge my divine center with the source of all that is, ever will be, I feel its calming presence no matter what is on the news, what things seem to be holding me back. I just let go and feel the warmth and the love of the divine presence, the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I am set free every moment, recognizing how one moment leads to the next moment. And with this realization that the divine presence of the one love that clothes me, surrounds me in its eternal embrace, is forever imparting its life through me. For this experience in this human body is so important. But I need to remember that I am that divine well connected, and that this body is the sacred temple. And as I recognize its brilliance and sacredness, I witness the health, the strength, the joy, the peace, the love, the manifestation beyond the appearance of any challenges. And I let go and I let God as I rest in the knowledge that the perfect power of good, of the living spirit that dwells within, knows exactly what to do, when to do it, how to heal and reveal not only my wholeness, but the wholeness and oneness of all of life, everything on this planet. And I know that the same forces that created the universe and its unlimited potential are working not only on my behalf, but on the behalf of every living thing in the absolute perfection. And it is exquisitely, that divinity is exquisitely being expressed before, during, and after all moments of my life. And in this calm, loving moment, I allow that divine synchronicity of the love and power flowing through me to come rushing in. And the moment is now. I am experiencing complete perfection, complete knowing that God is, I am, and that I, along with everyone else in all life, are also the perfect agents of the universe. So even in my most challenging moments, I continuously draw upon the perfect peace of God, divine source, and I am reassured that healing and renewal of spirit, mind, and body are made manifest. And in this prayer, I now release my all-powerful word into the universal heart and law of mind, and I thank God for prayers answered before they're even spoken. For I, in the synchronistic, mystical, magical moments, I see the connection leading me into the greater unfoldment of who I am and who the universe is now also, that surrounds me, in me, and through me. I'm so grateful for this thing called life and living on this planet in this most exceptional, exciting, unfolding moment in time. I let this go. I know it's so. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. I love each and every one of you. Peace out. May your magical moments be synchronistically woven together in that beautiful tapestry of the universal presence of the divine within and without. God is, I am. Have a bliss-blessed, wonderful evening and rest of your week. See you on Sunday on Facebook. Mwah!